So what is life? What does it mean to be alive? Look at your neighbor. Are they alive? How do you know? Think about the trees in your backyard. Are they alive? How can you tell? As an astrobiologist, I strive in my research to help answer that great question, are we alone in the universe? Is life a unique thing here on Earth? Or will we find it when we go to Mars and eventually, hopefully, Europa? Will we find it on those planets? And though I want to find those things in my research, it kind of helps to know what defines life before we go looking for it on another planet. What does it define here on Earth? And it turns out that astrobiologists, like myself, have all come together and we've agreed on basically about 8 characteristics that define life here on Earth as we know it and help me distinguish that I'm alive and my iPhone is not. Number 1, all life needs water. Makes sense? Without water, the chemistry of life doesn't happen. Number 2, all life needs sponge. Sounds like a funky energy drink, doesn't it? Sulfur, phosphorus, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, hydrogen, the 6 fundamental elements that are the building blocks of all life. Number 3, all life needs a membrane to create an internal environment for that chemistry of life to go on. So we have skin, cells have wall membranes so that we can keep everything in and keep all the bad stuff, especially the Houston air, out. Number 4 and number 5. All life needs energy, uses that energy, and extracts that energy from its local environment. So we as humans, we breathe in oxygen and couple it to that burger that we grabbed at Goose's Acre before coming over to FameLab. Microbial life, such as life that lives in the extreme acidic waters of the Rio Tinto River in southern Spain, they breathe in oxygen too, but instead of that yummy cheeseburger, they eat iron. Number 6, all life conducts metabolic processes that allow it to take in energy and take in raw materials, process it, and release waste. Or basically all life poops. That's what that means. So, you and I, we take in all that food, we break it down, and we release that waste, or we release that waste as a solid, a liquid, or a gas, even though some people don't like to admit that they release gaseous waste. And life does the same thing. You think about the trees in your backyard. They take in sunlight, they take in water, they take in carbon dioxide, and they release oxygen. Think about it. You're breathing tree poop 24/7. Think about that. Number 7, all life reproduces and or shows growth. So microbes and cells, microorganisms, they do this by reproducing themselves through a process called fission. So they just kind of make copies of themselves. Humans, we have a little bit more fun way of doing it, which I won't go into. Finally, number 8, all life grows and adapts to its environment. So microbes like the microbes that live in my environment in the Great Salt Lake Desert, where we have lots and lots of salt in the sediment and would normally dry up any normal cell it would just suck all the water out of it and dry it up into a raisin. In that environment, those bacteria live easily because they have developed mechanisms to keep the salt out and keep their internal environment in and safe. And then we as humans here on Earth, we have developed the capability to develop more efficient air conditioners so we can live in the extreme environment known as Houston. So those are your 8 characteristics. Now my iPhone has some of them. It has some of them, but it doesn't have all. Only life like you, me, and your trees in your backyard have all 8 characteristics, which are water, sponge.
We got to wrap it up.
I'm about done. Water, sponge, internal membrane, needs energy, extracts it from its environment, grows and reproduces, and evolves and adapts to its environment. And finally, and think about this tonight as you step in your backyard and take a deep breath in of that nicely fresh excreted oxygen. All together, everybody, all life poops.
Very good.